So they got to use you from the inside and get you hyped up on some silly belief. I know and you know why Farrakhan is punking out. Well, to knock the nigga out. He can't deal with those books. Islam is the devil's religion. Instead of calling it Deen Allah, they should be calling it Deen Shaitan. Because Allah would not promote killing children. Allah merely can say kun fayakun and stop things. They don't have to send out vigilante men to kill other men. They don't have to send out people to blow up buildings. A bunch of fools got busted in New York, getting ready to blow up 2 of them. Shut up. Where was Allah? You understand? This is what it breeds. It's a tool of the devil. Farrakhan and these guys are working with an undergovernment here. These people don't even know they're Native Americans. They say they're Asiatic black men. And when you look at any of the followers of the Nation of Islam, you do not see an Asiatic black man. A Malaysian is an Asiatic black man. You understand? People in Fuji are Asiatic black men. Elijah Muhammad, to look at him, you see an Asian and you see a black man. So the man that was talking to him from Portland, Oregon, the Caucasian, he was saying, you are an Asiatic black man. This does not apply to everybody standing there, because you ain't going to tell me this brother with all these lips in his nose is an Asiatic black man. But if they can keep you under a belief system, Christianity keeps you under a belief system. They keep you not wanting to investigate. And if somebody like me comes along, I got to be a troublemaker, because my motto is don't believe me, check it out. Everything I say, go investigate and find out if it's true. And everything I print, I back it up with documents. And I ask that every other preacher or imam or teacher or rabbi do the same thing, because you got my soul in your hands. You got the last and most precious thing I got left. My body has been beat up. My manhood has been tinted. He then took away the power for me to think for myself. Now all I got left is my essence. And now you want that. Can't have it. Can't have it. You understand? I work for you, you abuse me. Right down here now you walk through places and people got the nerve to have an attitude and got a whole back room full of black employers. That if they left today, that fool will go out of business. Because he couldn't do the manual labor himself. Half of them don't even know how to do the labor. You drive down the road, and you see guys on the road under the sun working, and the boss is sitting up in the truck. He couldn't stand the sun. You understand? So now we come south, you go north. We're coming back to where we're from, you go back to where you're from. And we can't get along. And we're not having a problem. You are. I don't have a problem walking up to anybody of any race and sitting down and having a cup of tea with them. I don't have the problem. You have the problem. The problem, I don't care who lives next to me. You got that problem. And I know what it's about. It's about the inevitable. Tumbling genes. Tumbling genes can be pretty frightening. I know what you're suffering from. I know why Hitler was so mad. Because Hitler was a nigger. You understand? Hitler had brown hair and brown eyes. He was a nigger. You with me? Want me to go a step further? If you do not have blonde hair and blue eyes, you're not a white man. If you were not born in the Caucasus Mountains between the Caspian and Black Sea, you're not a Caucasian. You with me? You have to be Scandinavian to be white. Blonde hair, blue eyes. You can be a Euro-American. Alright? That means you can be Euro-American, you can have blonde hair and blue eyes and have been a third or fourth generation American, so you became a Euro-American, American from Europe. But if you want to be classified white, you must have blonde hair and blue eyes. If you don't, if you have brown hair or red hair or hazel or auburn or black, then you are a mulatto. You understand? Because your historians only recorded 3 races. They recorded the Negroid race, the Mongoloid race, and the Caucasoid race. So if you're white and you wasn't born in the Caucasus Mountain, then you're a Negro. How you doing, brother? And you got to realize that. But when you're dealing with people who are white-skinned with black hair and brown eyes, they know it. And if the first people to mix in with the Orientals had been Caucasians with blonde hair and blue eyes, then Orientals, you see some with blonde hair. Have you ever seen any Orientals with blonde hair who didn't bleach it? Have you seen any Orientals with blue eyes without contacts? So they too had to have mixed in with the original people of the planet. Black. It ain't no myth no more about who was first on the planet. That's a scientific, they have proven that beyond a shadow of doubt. But now we got to convey a new message to eliminate another level of racism. You understand? That new message is, blonde-haired, blue-eyed people have never done anything to us as black people. Have you checked your history from the last 3 or 4 classes that I mentioned it? John Hawkins didn't have blonde hair, blue eyes. You understand that? What's the other one's name? Prince Henry did not have blonde hair. All these people were Portuguese, the French. You understand? They were not Scandinavians. Blonde hair, blue eyed people have done absolutely nothing to us at all. Maybe some of the ones here who got brainwashed by, just like we have, and became racist. But when you get back into your own studies of the world, you will not find any place. So when you get around to people like Farrakhan calling all blonde hair, blue eyed people devils, that's the devil at work doing that. That's causing a form of racism and hate and separation. That's the devil. You with me? Now, when I walk up to anybody without blonde hair and blue eyes and they call me a nigga, I say, welcome, brother. Because your parents didn't tell you that if I shake your tree, Ben York will fall out. Old nigga will fall out and start shuffling. When you meet an Irishman named Mac, he has to be informed that Mac is short for more. So McVeigh, McDougal, McDonald's, McDouglas is my brother. When you see somebody with red hair, green eyes, like Cicely's face with freckles, them freckles are parted Negroes. If you squeeze those freckles together, Cicely's face will be as black as me. She's running from the reality. But a lot of our people run from the reality. There's a whole lot of niggas out there pretending they're not niggas. We see them on television, they fool us, we be saying, she think we don't know. That's the approach towards racism. Not just, let's all get along, because that's hard to accept. That's real difficult for me to just push it aside with all the stuff I've been through. That's kind of touchy. But reality is what's going to happen when, just imagine if Hitler himself was sitting in a room with all blonde-haired, blue-eyed people. Guess what he'd be? Guess who's coming to dinner? He would be the nigger. Do you understand? This is what they managed to do amongst you to make dumb people like Spike Lee write movies like Jungle Fever, She's Gotta Have It, and School Days, where they try to imply wannabes. Caucasians have wannabes also. If you walk up to the average Caucasian man and ask him to give you his description of a beautiful woman, he'll say a beautiful blonde, and his wife could be a brunette. And the same thing happens in a black family. The moment a child is born with wavy hair, they say, wow, that child got good hair. Got light eyes, boy, them are some beautiful eyes. Everybody. So now it's about time to set the record straight. And if everybody want to sit down and talk and get real, we'll forget about the dictionaries and the encyclopedias that you wrote and the definitionaries, and we'll just go for what we see. You follow what I'm saying? Go for what we see, and you'll find that 90% of the people on the planet are brothers and sisters now. amount of people that are the extreme are not the problem. The people in Scandinavia are not intimidated by niggers. And the people in the bush of Juba, in Uganda and Africa, are not intimidated by Caucasians. They accept them as human beings. It's only people who are walking around unsure about what to do genetically that have all the racial problems. All of the leaders are always, go back to the 60s. Name some of the black leaders in the 60s. You go back to the 60s, and most of the people in the 60s that was running the Black Panthers, white skin, Angela Davis, Huey B. Newton, Farrakhan, Elijah Muhammad, they're the ones with the problem because they know they got white blood and it's bothering them. You're bothering when you go to a Klan meeting and the Grand Wizard don't have blonde. He lives up in Boston. He don't have blonde hair and blue eyes. And he's talking all this Anglo-Saxon stuff in Aryan. Say Aryan is Indian. The word Aryan, the swastika is a Hindu symbol. Aryan means Indian. What are you talking about? You're not Aryans. If they don't, but they don't want you to be informed, because if you get informed, then you'll break down the racial problem, and human beings might start to get along. You follow? And there's an elite population of people who base everything on money, and they can't have people getting along because racism is profitable. There's a market for black people, and there's a market for white people. There's a market for Orientals, and there's a market for Latinos. There's a market for it. You understand? That market is as prevalent as big clothes is a market. I told you all about, I said, them big clothes, they can't keep them in because they're losing money. They ain't selling small, medium, large, and extra large. They're selling one size clothes, and that's not economical. Laces cost too. So children take the laces out their shoes, they lose money. It's business. Big business. It ain't concerned about health. It ain't concerned about welfare. There's no concern about old people. It's business. I'm going to tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole program going on. And meanwhile, back to our brother Farrakhan, this fool is getting involved. When America is getting out of involved with these people, now we're starting to send our people over there to be destroyed. To get involved. Don't be salam alaikum and me. What has Gaddafi ever done for you? Where was Gaddafi in the 60s when y'all was supposed to be having a revolution? Libya, right? In his country, he's not, that ain't in his country because Gaddafi's an Italian. The real Libyans, he's not one of them. But he's pretending he's Libyan for the time being. What did he do for me and you? So what do I need him for now that I'm learning how to walk? What do I need him now that I found out the truth of myself? I don't need him. So don't be trying to lead me into no flock of followers to follow another image of another man. Now I'm following some Arabian. And for another 2,000 years, I'm just shaking the Jesus stick. I'm just getting over the hippie image of Jesus. My grandmother's image on the wall stamped in my mind, everybody's mind right in this room. When I say Jesus, oh sweet Jesus. All of y'all see a picture on your grandmother's wall with somebody doing this, or standing down in front of a rock. He got dark brown hair and light eyes, and he's looking up at the sky like him and God are friends or relatives. And that's been stamped into your soul, man. And if that is the Son of God, right, then what are you? And what are you? Everybody talks about Michelangelo. What about Leonardo da Vinci, or probably something like Leonard Johnson or something? He's responsible for drawing that Last Supper picture and deciding what all the disciples look like. That's racism. And when they put that thought in your mind, they make you hate yourself. Because if God looked like that, then I got to be the devil. And you really think it's fair for me to teach my son? I'm going to hold up a picture of other than myself? And if I do hold up a picture of myself, you call it racism, and I ask you when you did it, what was it? You don't have an answer? It's wrong when I tell my son it's all right to be black. Not the term black, that's wrong, you know what I mean? That's wrong when I do it. I'm a racist. I'm anti-American. I'm a problem. I'm a troublemaker. But it's all right for you to push pictures like what Michelangelo did And right now, every person in this room got a picture of Jesus Christ in their mind as a what? No, a hippie, not a Caucasian. The picture is a hippie. Because if Jesus Christ walked into Edenton right now with the picture they have, they would think he's a hippie and they'd arrest him. You understand what I'm saying? Now, let Jesus come to earth now and see what happened to him by those pictures. They got to go. So I've had people ask me, why do you put pictures of everybody in your book? You know how dumb that sounds to me? But do you find in my books all black people? No. According to the tribe you are, that's what we put in the book. That's white people, all we have to cover. That's what's on the planet. But don't try to make me think God is white and then say he's a spirit. How you determine that a spirit is white? Don't say he's a formless without form. He's a formless in form. What the hell does that mean? I have enough damn problems with English without the formless in form. The Muslims say he's the unseen God who Moses saw on the mountain. Jesus was born to die, but got in the garden and said, if it's possible, let this cup pass by me. I don't want to die, in other words. How can I live well? This is what's called confusion. This is the state of mind that produces the children that go out there and do what? Drive-by shootings. If you can't see that that's a problem, that America is getting a problem because the preacher has failed, that the school teachers have failed the kids, you follow what I'm saying? I'm basically saying to them, leave us the hell alone. We ain't here to do anything to you. All we want you to do is leave us alone. Because all the stuff that we go to you for, you slap us in the face with. I'm tired of the inferiority complex. I don't have to be. I can build. You know what I'm saying? When you look out here, I'm doing my own thing. Why don't listen to me? Anybody that walks up to you and says, what are y'all doing out there? It's not worth talking to. Because anybody walk by and see these permits and don't know that this is something to do with Egypt, they really got a problem. I don't know what them folks is doing out there. And you're wasting your time having a dialogue with them. Say, I understand why you don't see what's going on out there. I can see that. And just walk on the way. Yes. Right. That's a subtle brainwashing. Right. She said, I'm a Moor, and I don't believe Mary had a little lamb whose fleece was white as snow. I just don't believe women give birth to lambs. If I'm saying I'm not a Christian, and I don't believe that, and my mother don't want me to be taught it. That's all. Keep it.